The concluding piece, the summing up piece of our October concerts for the Peninsula Symphony is Mussorgsky's fabulous, thrilling Pictures at an Exhibition, written originally for piano in 1874, and it was written in great haste because there was an exhibition about to be staged for Mussorgsky's friend Victor Hartmann's memorial exhibition of his paintings. And in order to celebrate the work of his great friend, Mussorgsky wrote this music, which is a sound painting of each of the important pictures in Hartmann's exhibition, memorial exhibition, unfortunately. And it was written for piano originally, but much later, the greatest colorist of the 20th century, perhaps, Maurice Ravel, orchestrated this piece. Actually, it's a piece full of such possibilities for an orchestra that at least 23 or 24 great composers have orchestrated Mussorgsky's piano piece, Pictures at an Exhibition, but the best one is the Ravel, and that's the one that we will be playing for you in October. Here's what Mussorgsky does to not only create the pictures of the individual paintings, but to walk us through the exhibition. He starts with a promenade. It sounds like this. So, if we're walking into an exhibition of paintings that we're excited to see and which we're looking forward to drinking in one after another, what's our mode? We're probably going to walk briskly initially with lots of energy and enthusiasm, and that is exactly the image of that solo trumpet passage, one of the most famous solo trumpet passages ever written. Here's how it looks in the score. We've got all of these instruments in the Pictures at an Exhibition score. Here's the trumpet, and there's the music for that. And then you've got the whole brass section playing the same thing here. What's interesting about this, by the way, is the meter of this promenade. This is not a conventional rhythm. It's a meter of 11. And there aren't a lot of pieces of music written in 11. Plenty in 12, because that's a multiple of 4 and 3. But 11 is a prime number. It doesn't really fit in musical or dance sequences. The way he does it is a measure of 5, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, followed by a measure of 6, da-da-dee, da-da-da-dum, and that's a pattern that gets repeated many times. You will want to listen for that promenade because it happens in between most of the paintings in Pictures at an Exhibition. And as we react to each painting, if it makes us sad, if it makes us energized, that promenade in between the previous painting and the next one changes and shifts. The first painting that we come to after the promenade is called Gnomus. It's a little ugly, irascible gnome. This is what it sounds like. Eerie, pulsating, and given to outbursts of violence that are completely unpredictable, like that. Not a pretty picture, but a certainly very dynamic one. Increasingly irritable and ugly, till we get to this slap. Next picture I'm going to tell you a little bit about is Bidło. Mostly mispronounced, it's actually a Polish name. Bidło is an ox pulling a heavy ox cart. What is Ravel's idea of how to stage this for a symphony orchestra? He gives it to the tuba. I'll show you what that looks like. Here's Bidło and the lower instruments of the orchestra, cellos and basses and bassoons, and here's the tuba part. Listen to what it sounds like. tuba is the heavyweight of the symphony orchestra, and here it is straining, pushing, pulling actually, as hard as possible. Makes a wonderful visual picture of the straining of the ox pulling the cart. Next one is ballets of the chicks in their shells. It's a funny little picture. Chirpy, brisk, rattling around in their shells. Flighty. Woodwind section plays this. Now we're listening to The Catacombs. Hartmann takes us to a dark, dank, spooky, almost demonic world below ground. And Mussorgsky gives us a brilliant picture of that, and Ravel colors in the numbers here with the brass section, low brass in particular. Eerie, spiritual, visions of skulls and dark passages. Timeless quality. Eternity is ruling this world. Then there is Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is the demonic, mythical Russian witch, terrifying images on the rampage. And in this one, we see a page in the score that has a huge number of instruments: contrabassoon, horn, four horns, three trumpets, three trombones, and the tuba that we heard about before, saxophone, timpani, and all these percussion instruments, triangle, tambourine, cymbals, tam-tam, the big gong, big drum, and xylophone, and celesta, and harp, and then all the strings. Massive forces to create the terrifying force of Baba Yaga. And that leads us lastly to our opening music, the Great Gate of Kiev. We find ourselves terrifyingly running away from Baba Yaga, and all of a sudden look up and we see the Great Gate of Kiev. It's massive, it's impenetrable, it's majestic. And in Ravel's orchestration, like granite. Think of El Capitan in our little world here. And it's a fitting, majestic ending for Mussorgsky's tribute to his friend Victor Hartmann's life's work as a painter. Brings our program to what I think is a fitting conclusion of great grandeur and majesty. Stay tuned for more information about more music on this concert.